May 18th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including suspects trying to lure a Monroe child into a car this week, a falling tree injuring Darien students, and much more. Frank Granito will have a look at your forecast, and later on a Nutmeg Sports Update, and editorial director John Kovach joins me later to preview our front pages this week. But first, a driver suffered serious injuries on Wednesday evening after Stratford police said his car flipped over on Broadbridge Avenue. Police said one car was involved in that accident that occurred near 2109 Broadbridge Avenue around 9:30 at night. Police said the driver, a male, was taken to a local hospital for treatment of his injuries. Broadbridge Avenue between Yukon Street and North Avenue was closed for several hours for that investigation, and you can look for updates at StratfordStar.com. In other news, Monroe police report two suspicious people attempted to lure an elementary school child into a car on Tuesday afternoon. Police say that around 4 p.m., a child who attends Stepney Elementary School was dropped off at her normal bus stop. And as she was exiting the bus, she saw an older red minivan with two occupants who attempted to verbally lure her into the vehicle. The driver of that minivan was described as a 45 to 50-year-old female with a slender build, short, bright red hair with hair ends dyed green. The male passenger was described as between 45 to 50 years old and a male, overweight with bright green hair. Now, the child ignored the woman and ran to her home. Police responded to the area and searched for the vehicle, but were unable to locate it. Monroe police say all officers are aware of this incident and will be on the lookout for that vehicle and those suspects. Monroe Police Department is also asking parents to remind children to never get in any vehicles occupied by people they don't know. And they're asking anyone with information to contact them directly at 203-261-3622. And Connecticut State Police detectives are seeking information as they continue to investigate the May 9th Bridgeport Police Department officer-involved shooting. An officer shot and killed 15-year-old Jason Negron, who police say was driving a stolen car and then nearly backed over an officer with that vehicle following a pursuit. Well, the car's passenger, 21-year-old Julian Fief, was also shot but survived and is now disputing the police account of that incident in an interview with Hearst, Connecticut media. State police say they are looking for witness accounts, video recordings, and photos of the scene. They're asking anyone with information to contact them at 203-696-2569. And the treasurer of the Masonic Lodge in New Canaan has been charged with embezzling money. Norwalk resident 62-year-old Joseph McBride has been charged with first-degree larceny after the Masonic Lodge reported missing funds of $54,000. On April 5th, the police responded to a call from New Canaan's Masonic Lodge about the missing money, and an investigation ensued. The police investigation determined that from 2012 to 2016, McBride, who is treasurer of the lodge, used a debit card to draw funds and make purchases from the Mason Lodge bank account without authorization. On May 17th, McBride surrendered himself to New Canaan police on that active arrest warrant. Subsequently, he was processed and was held on a $100,000 bond and transported to court in Norwalk. And according to the Darien Times, on Monday, May 15th, a large tree in Darien's Woodland Park fell on two high school students. One received minor bruising and lacerations, while the second is recovering from broken ribs, a punctured lung, and a spinal injury. 18-year-olds Claire Barecki and J.P. Document recently finished senior year coursework at Darien High and on Monday had completed the first day of senior internships. Both were walking on a small trail near West Avenue when a large tree that appeared to have been rotting fell on them from behind. Barecki was minorly injured and contacted emergency services for Document, who remains hospitalized. The incident was addressed by several bystanders who flagged down emergency responders, and both Stamford and Darien EMS were involved. The tree has not yet been removed and the path has been blocked. Walkers are advised to avoid densely forested areas on windy days, although injuries by falling trees are rare. And in other news, a 3-alarm fire has hospitalized 4 Connecticut firefighters and destroyed multiple homes before being contained. The Wednesday fire in Waterbury tore through a neighborhood. Waterbury Fire Chief David Martin says up to 20 families may be displaced as that 4 multifamily homes are at a total loss. Martin says it appears that everyone made it out safely, but crews have been unable to enter the buildings due to the extensive damage. There were three firefighters were hospitalized for smoke inhalation and one for cardiac issues, according to Martin. No cause for the fire has been given at this time, and it remains under investigation. Martin says the department had water supply issues that hindered controlling that fire more quickly. And neighbors are heavily against a proposed Little League field in Ridgefield at the intersection of Route 7 and Simpog Turnpike. And they made it clear during a special permit application's first public hearing on Tuesday night. 7 people spoke against the field, all of them recalling a truck accident about 13 years ago. One neighbor saying this will increase traffic and the probability that something like this happens again, but this time they said it will be more tragic as children will be involved. Well, a traffic expert hired by Little League, Garrett Bilella, said an accident report from the police commission shows only 5 reported accidents in the last 3 years and 9 months in that area. Little League President Steve Scalzo gave a presentation along with a team of engineers spearheaded by project engineer Philip Doyle. The hearing was continued now to Tuesday, June 6th, and you can get more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. But let's throw it over to Frank Granito now to get a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And another warm one out there today. A high of 89 is expected. Windy again. Gusts up near 30 miles per hour. Mostly sunny through the afternoon. It's going to be very warm and humid out. An air quality alert is in effect again for northern Fairfield and New Haven County. An air quality action day means that the ozone within the region may approach or exceed unhealthy standards, especially for sensitive groups. Muggy overnight, pretty warm out again. Mostly clear skies and a low of 69 degrees heading into Friday morning. Wind gusts are down tomorrow, but the temperatures will stay up into the mid-80s. Not as humid out on Friday, but still warmer. We'll see periods of sun and clouds during the day. There is a chance for a passing shower or thunderstorms in parts of the county tomorrow afternoon, but we should see clear skies and temperatures starting to cool off for the weekend as proms get underway, Kate, around the FCAC, and near perfect conditions are expected for Saturday. Mostly sunny through the early afternoon with temperatures in the mid to high 60s. Less humid and breezy out during the day before some late afternoon cloud cover moves in. Chilly overnight on Saturday and temperatures drop down to the mid 40s, but it's going to be another cool one on Sunday with more sunshine heading our way. 2 more days of this big heat wave, and then we're going to see it start to get comfortable. Kate, let's go back over now.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we have a Nutmeg Sports Update with Frank and some more local news after this.
At In Sports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Sign-ups are now open for one of our most popular programs, the New England 80 Elite Lacrosse Division I and Division III showcases. With D1 and D3 coaches in attendance, players will receive a 60-minute webinar with Director of Recruiting Hans Hansen, a custom NE80 penny, custom shorts, and a video of all games. Last year's event sold out quickly, so sign up now for the next showcase coming in January 2018. Like and follow us on Facebook.
When it comes to considering the outside of your home, just imagine the possibilities. Whether your dream is a stunning freeform pool or a tranquil, secluded garden, the team of professionals at Stonebridge Associates will make it a reality. We offer unparalleled landscape design and construction, masonry development, pools, spas, and water features, as well as landscape and garden maintenance. No other firm can offer the same level of creativity, quality, and personal attention. Discover the possibilities at stonebridgeassociates.net or call 203-544-8376 today.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCD.com.
Pizza to satisfy even the most demanding critics. Choosy Pazza Pizza.
Welcome back to this May 18th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Eng to take a look back on this date in history. Don.
Well, Kate, $40 billion, believe it or not, essentially disappeared on this date. But first we're going to go all the way back to 1756, when Great Britain declares war on France. That is the beginning of what is now known as the 7 Years' War. Now, if you thought World War I was the first world war, you were wrong. Every major power in Europe was dragged into the war, and they and their colonies fought across 5 continents, including North America, where we call it the French and Indian War. George Washington, by the way, almost solely responsible for starting the war in North America. 1933, at the height of the New Deal, President Franklin Roosevelt signs an act creating the Tennessee Valley Authority. Intended to rapidly modernize the Big South, it provides navigation, flood control, electricity, and economic development to the states of Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Virginia. Ironically, most of those states will probably tell you they don't like federal intervention. Anyway, the TVA is the largest power provider in the country with 29 hydroelectric dams, 9 gas power plants, 3 nuclear reactors, and a whole lot of other items generating power in those states. 1980, Mount St. Helens erupts in Washington state, killing 57 people, probably, and causing $3 billion in damage. The death toll, by the way, is in dispute because listed among the dead are men named Paul Hyatt and Dale Thayer. Now, investigators later found men named Paul Hyatt and Dale Thayer alive and well, but since they couldn't confirm who had listed them as missing, they couldn't confirm that they had located the correct Paul Hyatt and Dale Thayer. Ash from the eruption fell as far away as Minnesota. Finally, now we go to 2012, where Mark Zuckerberg there is ringing the opening bell at the NASDAQ from California on the day that his company, Facebook, held its initial public offering. The company was initially valued at $104 billion, making it the largest valuation to date for a newly listed company. By the following week, though, the company had lost nearly half its value, down to just under $60 billion due to unexpectedly weak sales of company stock. That is your look back in history for today, May 18th, and I'm Donald Eng.
Thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, a Stratford town budget was finally passed last night, and it includes no tax increase for the coming fiscal year. But the budget battle may not be over, as Mayor John Harkins has indicated he will veto a budget that passed by a thin margin. After long nights of debate, the Stratford Town Council voted 6-3 on Wednesday to approve a $216 million budget for the new fiscal year. That budget is about $4 million less than the proposal offered by Harkins back in March. The approved budget reduces the Board of Education's outlay by $1.4 million, giving the schools a budget of $107.9 million instead of $109.3 million that Harkins had approved. But there's a lot more on that story at StratfordStar.com. Let's throw it back over to Frank now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And we were live at Danbury High School yesterday for a play-in game between the Danbury Hatters and the Trumbull Eagles. Danbury sitting at 9th in the conference, Trumbull at 7, just separated by half a game. It was Ryan Solomine on the hill for the Hatters, and despite surrendering an early run against the Eagles, the junior pitcher settled in nicely and went the distance, picking up the complete game win. Trumbull would pick up 3 runs in the 4th inning, 2 of them off of a single from Captain Brent Jacobellis, as Danbury goes on to win 3-2, keeping their playoff hopes alive heading into the final day of the regular season. Let's look at the highlights from the Hatters' win yesterday. As the 2-2 grounded over to short, Hernandez will go to second for 1. They try to flip it. Is it in time? No. Throw from Torres, short hop Gervasio, and he just couldn't get the scoop. A run will score. Just in the mid-80s. It is not warm. It is hot out today. As this one is roped out towards center field. Lynch on the run, and it's over his head and going to roll. Hall is heading for second with a big turn there. Is he going to head for third? Yes. They've got a chance with a quick throw. The ball is in, and they got him.
Great relay throw. It's all started with Jack Lynch.
Fastball here, ground to the right side. Cicada's on the move. He knocked it down. No. One run will score. Hernandez is coming home. The throw is going to be cut off. It's a 2-run single, and the Hatters have the lead. 2 outs. Any ball to the outfield, you got to figure scores Jacobellis, as this one is going to drop in front of Lynch. We'll see if he comes up throwing. It's all the way to Brugman, who's got to go up the line and stops that one. It's a double and another RBI, as the Hatters now lead 3-1. He takes the 1-0 and flies one out to center. Jacobellis retreating back, settles underneath it, and is able to put it away for the 3rd out. So with the win, Danbury keeps their playoff hopes alive, but they are not quite in yet. This afternoon, they'll have to play a 1-inning game against the Wilton Warriors, making up the protest that Wilton won earlier in the week. It'll be bases loaded in the top of the 7th inning with 1 out, Warriors trailing by 1. We got to catch up with Captain Brent Jacobellis of the Hatters after the game to talk a little bit about how they're feeling heading into this afternoon. 4 outs to go, 3 outs to go, 2 outs to go now. How do you guys feel heading into that matchup?
I mean, we feel great, truthfully. I mean, we know what happened yesterday. We know the situation, but that couldn't affect us today, because if we didn't win today, there was going to be no tomorrow. So we got through today. We pulled out a win. Now we got to go get them tomorrow.
At this time of the year, this is such an experienced group. You guys have played together for so long. How do you like your odds as you get closer and closer to postseason play?
I mean, I love the dudes on this team. I love them to death. And I know that we just got to get in. And we get in. And everything after that will just make it happen.
Well, Brent, great job today, man.
Congratulations.
Good luck tomorrow. Hopefully we see you guys at Harbor Yard very soon.
Hopefully we see you there, too.
Alongside Brent Jacobellis of the Danbury Hatters, we send it back to the studio now. Thanks again to Brent, and good luck to the Hatters this afternoon. We're going to show you a graphic now. Most of the playoff teams are set, but here are the scenarios for this afternoon. If Danbury wins, they are in as the 8th seed. They'll go up to number 1, West Hill. Wilton will sit at number 6. Number 5, Staples will be the 2. If the Warriors do win, they jump all the way up to number 2 in the conference, and Danbury is out. Trumbull will get the nod in, so still a lot that could happen here as we've extended the last day of the regular season, just an extra afternoon, 1 more inning to determine who the final team in the FCIAC playoffs will be. We'll have a quarterfinal game for you Friday afternoon, plus the semis from Harbor Yard Monday night and the championship game at Harbor Yard Monday night. Our postseason coverage starts this afternoon, Kate. We go to Cardinal Stadium in Greenwich. Girls lacrosse when Greenwich hosts Ridgefield, the 3-6 matchup, and that's coming up later on today on the HAN Network. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, John Kovac joins me to preview our front pages this week after this.
Art of banking well is doing good. That's why, with the support of local community partners, Bankwell has launched the Bankwell Pet Adoption Project to boost awareness about the hundreds of animals in local shelters that need a home. And when you donate to the cause using the Bankwell self-service coin machines, we'll match your donation. For details, visit mybankwell.com/pleaseadoptme. Bank smart, bank local, bank well.
Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood delivered daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving one-stop shop for everything you need this season, our personable team is always ready with a helping hand. Shop Stewart's for the best of spring. Find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
The new fishing season is fast approaching, so it's time to head over to the dock shop and get your gear in order. We're now offering bait in both Darien and our Westport location. The dock shop can service and repair your rods and reels, spool up new line, and fill any empty space you might have in your tackle box. Whether you're a fisherman, boater, or beach bum, the dock shop is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Did you know heart attacks and strokes are the leading cause of death in America? Protect the health of you and your loved ones. talk to a doctor about heart disease. Hi, I'm Dr. David Pazer with ProHealth Physicians, encouraging you to stay informed about health matters that affect you.
ProHealth Physicians is on the pulse of social media to share information about health and nutrition with the community. Get up-to-the-minute alerts, including ProHealth Physicians news and upcoming events. Connecticut's leading group of primary care doctors is just a click away.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office.
Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month. Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, joined now by Editorial Director John Kovach to preview our front pages this week. John, what are you looking at?
You would think there's a lot of carnivals in town, but we'll start elsewhere. We're going to start in Reading, where they continue to discuss what to do with the former wire mill site, the old Gilbert and Bennett wire mill. It's a legal quagmire. A lot of discussion there. Barlow students, as the spring play season has arrived, they're going to present Almost Maine. Horrific story that you gave us on Coffee Break earlier this week. A woman in Reading dying after an attack by a dog at her own house. The schools are going to keep their current food provider, and a 9-year-old girl has written her first book educating kids about autism, and I think we have a lot to learn from kids on that.
Very cool. All right, well, I'm taking a look at the Ridgefield Press and concerts, talking about concerts at Schlumberger. Parking problems could force relocation, but maybe not this year. We also have a photo of the Mother Knows Best race, 10th annual Run Like a Mother 5K on Mother's Day, and talking more about horses and how many should be allowed on Ridgefield properties, because there's been some complaints there about manure, and the thrift shop starting a new chapter on Saturday. All that and more in the Ridgefield Press.
The state budget has been a topic of conversation everywhere, Darien no exception, and the latest proposal from Governor Dan Malloy is pointing at more money leaving Darien. There is an event on Saturday in Darien for Michael. This is the family and friends of Michael Taylor, and he lost his life to addiction in 2016, so just another of those stories. Great shot by Brian Hafley of the Hindley Happening. That's an annual school carnival in Darien. P&Z is looking at local zoning regs in Darien, and the Darien Police Department has installed a new and very striking monument to fallen officers. 2 names on that. Officer William Bowman, he was killed, I believe, in a motorcycle crash directing traffic, and Officer Kenny Bateman, and that's a case that's been in the news in the past couple of years.
All right. Well, taking a look at the Weston Forum, Weston EMS having some new faces in leadership roles there, and Latchet Farm prepares for the season. They're excited about some recent additions to the farm there, and the Women's Club of Weston celebrating 50 years. Congratulations to them. And just a cool photo, Greens Farms Academy Center fielder James Velgoat of Weston. Great photo there. All right.
In New Canaan, you have a lot of static involving cell phone service and continued clashes between the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Utilities Commission. Lee Garden, which is just a beautiful site on Chichester Road in New Canaan, that is open for walks again. Memorial Day Parade is May 29th, and it's time to get ready for that. And local realtors went up to Hartford to take part in a rally there.
All right, taking a look at the Trumbull Times, a big loss for the Trumbull community. Ellen Beveridge, who served as the Trumbull Times social editor from 1961 to 2007, she passed away Friday at the age of 94. You can read a lot more about her and her contributions to the community in this week's Trumbull Times. We also have some bear sightings and wildlife complaints on the rise. You can see a great photo there of a bear on Brookside Drive. Vicky Tesoro running again for first selectman, and a local church in Trumbull hosting an Understanding Islam talk on Sunday. And some more breaking news, police news, Trumbull teen charged in a sexual assault of a young neighbor. John, what else are you looking at?
The budget impasse in Stratford had not been solved by the time we went to press. Melvin Mason with a photo of Bunnell students there voicing their opinions on it. Again, that passed last night, split vote, hardline budget, and I don't think that saga is anywhere near over. Booth Memorial Park, which has just some of the coolest buildings around, that opens up on Sunday. And they're going to do a lighthouse project like they do with the different painted statues around town. Stratford this summer, it'll be lighthouses. I'm a big lighthouse fan.
Last year there was an alien sitting in an Adirondack chair. That was my fave. It was right in front of It was right in front of Town Hall. Oh my gosh, it was great. The alien right by the train station. All right, well, taking a look at the Shelton Herald, Perry Hill student advancing to the National Invention Competition. Congratulations to him, Joseph Bisson. City budget is a day-to-day process. They're having a hard time planning the budget, as you know, there still isn't a state budget approved. Now, local initiative also looking to improve Connecticut homes, and the Canal Street Carnival open until May 21st. So definitely check that out.
Monroe, yet another town struggling to come to grips with just what's going to happen with its budget as the state continues to devise a plan for itself. There's a little bit of a lull in the lawsuit over tuition and a magnet school in Bridgeport. The Stepney Baptist Church congregation in Monroe is funding renovations to the sanctuary, and on May 22nd, the Walk for Hope and Vigil for Addiction Awareness will be held at the Massac High School track.
All right, taking a look at the Easton Courier, new Trout Brook Valley parking area set to open. And in other parks news, the parks director tackling some field complaints about some broken down areas and stuff that didn't look good there. And the Board of Ed names a new assistant principal at Helen Keller Middle School. That's in the Easton Courier this week.
Wilton also weighing the impacts of the state budget, which do not look good, according to the Wilton Bulletin. The Distinguished Citizen Award winners have been named. Carol and George Bauer and Albert G. Nickel. Cannondale Village is for sale if you're looking to buy a village, Kate, and it is a great-looking little part of town. And Sharon Sobel, honored by the Cancer Society. And a shot of a girl riding the Scrambler, another great shot by Brian Hafley, one of the fun rides at the carnivals.
All right, well, taking a look at the Milford Mirror this week, Milford may be different from many towns and cities around in that a budget has been approved and taxes are going down there in Milford. Now, AEDs have been donated to local ball fields, which a firefighter is saying is just an amazing life-saving tool to have there. And Catholic parishes in Milford are merging. You can get a lot more on that story in this week's Milford Mirror, as well as Canvas Patch, a downtown business celebrating 40 years.
In arts and leisure, we get a look at the Ridgefield Film Festival, and that's about to kick off. And Patty Gay gives us some information on guilt-free ice cream. I could certainly use that because I love ice cream and then I feel guilty.
And then just a great section to check out in our papers this week, and that's the Savor section. Just a culinary taste and entertaining guide, some beautiful photos and ideas about seasonal and outdoor eats, which you know is such a popular thing this time of year as the weather is nice. So definitely check out Savor.
It made me hungry.
Yeah, it makes me hungry looking at it. All right, John, so we're going to start wrapping things up here, but it's still a busy day on the HAN Network. Yankee Fisherman coming up at 1 o'clock.
It's always been a goal of Yankee Fisherman to get young people involved in angling. I was just at the Trout Unlimited Northeast Regional Rendezvous. They discussed it as well, and we'll look at some of what Trout Unlimited is doing to get kids interested in both conservation and fishing.
All right, that's coming up at 1 o'clock. Now we also have live girls lacrosse, John, at 4 o'clock
4
today.
o'clock from Greenwich. The Ridgefield Tigers visit Greenwich. Only one goal separated those two when they played in the regular season.
All right, now we're not going to be back for coffee break tomorrow, but it's going to be a really busy sports weekend, so be sure to stay tuned to the HAN Network for all of that. And we will see you Monday for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.